I can eat whatever I want because I worked out today.
As long as it says sugar or fat-free, then it's healthy.
Ladies, if you lift weights, will you get big and bulky like a man?
I hate water, but I drink coffee. That's the same thing.
I can't eat carbs or I will get fat.
Well, did you know there are no benefits to fasting? You're just basically starving yourself.
Welcome everybody to Keeping It Real with Rick and RJ. Today we're going to be talking about the 6 common misconceptions that are killing your fitness gains. RJ, I can eat whatever I want because I worked out today. True or false?
True. You got to earn it, baby. You want to eat those calories? You worked out? Hey, if you're in a deficit, it's all you.
All right, so to clarify, I can't go and eat McDonald's 3 times today because I worked out once?
Hey, it depends on your goals, man.
So what kind of goals might that be? I guess if you're bulking?
If you're dirty bulking and you want to look out of shape but be in shape, 100% go ahead and eat McDonald's all day.
All right. But just for the sake of keeping it real, what exactly do we need to be eating if we're going to be dropping a little bit of weight?
Well, the simple equation I think a lot of people make it very difficult is be in a caloric deficit. So working out is going to help you to get in that deficit faster. So if you want to see any type of muscular gains, you want to see a tight toned body, then you got to be in that simple deficit. So Rick, as long as it says sugar or fat-free, it's healthy, right?
No, that is probably one of the biggest misconceptions out there in the nutrition world. In fact, that is all marketing and all advertising. The reality is this: if you're going to eat healthy, you have to eat whole. And what I mean is this: everything is loaded with sugar if it comes in a plastic package or in a box. The best way to maintain a healthy diet is to eat everything on the exterior, on the outside of the grocery store, like fresh fruits and vegetables.
So if you can grow it or catch it, you can eat it.
Correct.
I like that. And, sugar and fat-free, a lot of times they're putting chemicals in there that really kind of give you the perception that you're eating the same food. So when people say, it tastes like, well, it tastes like that because they've added so much chemicals. And honestly, there's not enough long-term research to know what kind of health problems you're going to get down the road.
All right, so here's one for the ladies. If I lift weights, I'm going to get big and bulky like a man.
False. The reason being is weights are resisted overload, so meaning that you need to get muscle by adding extra resistance.
And at the end of the day, I think also they don't have testosterone running through their body, so they can't get big and bulky. They can get lean and mean. They can become really, really physically fit, but without the testosterone being naturally produced, you're not going to get big and bulky. But one of the reasons why you should lift weights, ladies, is because that is the best way or the best thing to put into your body to lose actual body fat is lean muscle mass.
I hate water, but I drink coffee. That's basically the same thing, Rick.
Well, I hope that's true because I drink a lot of coffee, but I know that is false. And, coffee is a diuretic. It literally dries you out. So I think it goes against everything that is what water is supposed to be, which is hydration. It does the exact opposite. So no, I would disagree. Just because you're drinking coffee does not mean that you're hydrating your body.
Well, water creates balance, and the thing that you can look at is what's called a pH scale. And so oftentimes people have sore joints, they're very tired, they're fatigued because they're in a what's called acidic state. And so coffee is actually highly acidic. And so if you're drinking copious amounts of coffee, you're actually putting yourself behind the 8 ball, and you're always going to feel tired. You're always going to feel sore. You're always going to feel like swollen, inflamed, whereas water is that perfect point in the middle, and it creates balance in your body.
So is there a right amount of coffee to drink?
When it comes to the right amount of coffee, I mean, there's research out there that they say you shouldn't consume more than, I think, like 300 milligrams of coffee a day. About 200 milligrams is 1 cup of coffee. So if you put that into perspective, if you're having an extra large coffee, that could be 3, 4, or 5 cups at one time.
Right. So let's stick to one cup a day.
1 cup a day is fair.
Okay. I can't eat carbs or I'll get fat. Is that true?
That is completely false. In fact, I love carbohydrates. And in fact, I eat ice cream almost every single day. And it's my recommendation that if you do a deprivation diet, then you're going to deprive yourself and then you're going to overindulge yourself. And it's the yo-yo cycle. And for some reason, we've come into this delusion that if we cut carbs, we're going to look fantastic, but it's not sustainable. And in fact, if you're trying to build muscle, or if you're trying to have energy to push yourself to burn more calories in a workout, carbohydrates are the main fuel source for high intensity exercise. So if you're depriving yourself of carbohydrates, you're depriving yourself of a good workout, which means that you're depriving your muscles and you're not going to see any type of gains.
I think the other point of that is the reason why the message is so strong against carbs is because, like everything, people take it overboard, right? So if you can enjoy your carbs on a minimal level, then there's absolutely no reason why you can't enjoy carbs.
Well, I think it's easy to eat carbohydrates, right? If you go into the pantry, how easy it took for us to just grab a bag of chips, eat the bag of chips, and contemplate whether we're going to eat those chips or not.
Yeah. And I think that's when people reference carbs, that's what they're talking about. But when you're talking about a nice fresh sandwich, vegetable, loaded with vegetables, and you have 2 slices of multigrain bread, I don't think that's a problem, even though those are carbs.
Yeah, and it comes down to that simple equation. Moderation is key, right? You can have 1 or 2 pieces of bread. You can actually have more depending on how active you are. For me to be able to reach my calorie goals and for me to grow my muscles, I actually have to consume almost 200 grams of carbs a day, Rick. 1 piece of bread is anywhere from 18 to about 25 grams of carbohydrates. So I would actually be allowed to have quite a bit of bread in a day,
like 5 pieces,
and still have gains.
Yep.
So Rick, intermittent fasting, everybody's talking about it, but I don't think there's any benefits. You're basically just starving yourself.
I would disagree completely. And the reason for intermittent fasting, from what I understand and from how I feel when I do it, is you're basically doing a reset in your own body. And what that is emptying your body, and we're not going to call it starvation because nobody in the Western world is starving. Believe me, we're all good with doing a little bit of fasting. By doing that, you're allowing your body to get rid of all of the sugars, the toxins, the extra added carbohydrates. You're going to lower down your insulin, which is what you're looking for. Those are the steps that you need in order to lose body fat.
Yeah, I like the fasting because it shortens your eating window. Because if we don't have any type of guidelines, right? Like if you don't stop eating at 8, then a good chance is that you're going to eat till 10, which means that you're going to bed at 10:05, which means that you've usually late at night, what are you craving? You're not craving chicken breasts and protein shakes. You're craving chips, you're craving popcorn, even nuts. Like I had a client one time and they would eat a full bag of nuts, which is probably around 1,200 calories easily right before the bed. So if you shorten your window, then you got to be smarter with your choices. And like you said, it helps to eliminate and clear out the waste, right? Gives you time to digest your food, get rid of it, and then bring in the new stuff. So you never really get completely full and you don't spill over into fat.
Yeah. And one of the benefits of fasting is sleep. If you're eating late at night or towards, I'm not saying that you can't eat late at night if you're staying within your caloric intake, but if you're eating excess at night, your body is going into full digestion mode when you're trying to sleep, and that will interfere with a good night's sleep.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, so before we sign off, we just want to thank our sponsor, bitbuy.ca. If you're looking to purchase cryptocurrency, it's a great place that you can purchase it, especially if you're Canadian. We put a link in the description below. If you use it, not only do you get an additional $20 in crypto, but so do we. So the 6 common misconceptions that are killing your fitness gains. All right, everybody, so to recap, I can eat whatever I want because I work out today. That is a big no. You need to keep your calories in check. So if you've only burnt 300, you can only eat 300.
Sugar-free or fat-free doesn't mean healthy.
Ladies, if you're going to lift weights, don't worry about getting big and bulky. You don't have testosterone, but you will get lean and sexy.
You need to start drinking more water than coffee.
Eating carbs will make you fat. The answer is yes and no. Keep your carbohydrate intake in check in moderation and you'll be just fine.
Start fasting. Stick to the 8 to 12 window, meaning you stop eating at 8 and you start eating at noon. And we'll see you on the next episode of
Keeping It Real.
Keep it keeping it real.